With the improvements in the project, we've seen 400% increase in our output speed on the lamination line. It's quite clear what the benefits are there for us. We can process work faster, we can handle more work, and we can really help, service this growing market. My name is Ashley Moscrop. I'm the Managing Director of Dufaylite Developments Limited, and I've been here for 22 years now.
I'm Steve Smith, Director of Industrial Transformation Group at the MTC. Been with the MTC for 9 years now.
Dufaylite was founded in 1955 by George May, and he was the guy who invented the mechanical process for paper honeycomb. Since then, we've been on an innovation drive, 70 years this year, making all sorts of different products on the strength of paper honeycomb. Paper honeycomb is actually far more unique than people realise. We can go into floor slabs of buildings and take up to 1 metre of wet concrete. Certain products will take over 50 tonnes a square metre, all just off paper. So, it really is a unique, strong, lightweight product.
When I first visited Dufaylite, what it really stuck out to me was what a great product they got. It was a recyclable product that can remove polystyrene, so we really wanted to make a difference.
Dufaylite today currently employs about 40 people. Whilst that turnover and our number of people has been similar for the last 5 to 10 years, the shape of the business is totally different. We've been adapting and moulding and changing with the ever-changing environment that's going on out there. So yeah, the numbers haven't changed drastically, but what we do in our throughput is totally different. One of the causes for that is our investment in machinery and in people, and working with the MTC. Since we began working with the MTC, we would typically put out around 300,000 sort of linear metres of honeycomb board. Today we top the million comfortably. We were first introduced to the MTC by a Lloyd's representative actually. My father was at a dinner locally on a networking event and we were talking about our exciting journey and the challenges that we faced. And obviously we discussed the MTC. So from there we reached out to Lloyd's and the journey began. We began working with the MTC back in 2018. And what initially was like an efficiency project and drive, has really continued on into a strong relationship. We've probably completed 5 or 6 projects now, from research into the manufacturing line and the technology that could be used, prototyping, we've done automation studies, we've done capacity studies. We've really developed into a strong, fruitful relationship, knowing they're there to help us on certain aspects that we need, but also they'll leave us to do it once we need leaving alone to run the projects ourselves. We knew there was an opportunity coming our way for our packaging and it being sustainable. Hence we realised, we were looking at tripling our output, but we didn't want to affect the lead time to our customers.
So when I first came on site, the ask was, can we improve the productivity and efficiency of the lamination line?
Steve, what would you say the biggest challenges you and your team had to overcome with helping us here at Dufaylite?
Definitely how we're going to make it a part come off the end of that lamination line, dry and cut to size. It was quite a difficult research project, looked at lots of different technology. Luckily, we found the right one.
We did, yeah.
I decided that the best thing to do was understand the whole process, and that's when I realised actually they've got a fantastic sales strategy. They just need to get the manufacturing strategy just right. So we decided to really focus on the holistic approach of the business, making sure all the parts flowed through the business as quick as possible with minimum waiting times. The key areas that we identified in our plan to take them from their current state to the future state was really around making sure that the product was coming off the line dry, cut to size with minimum rework or subsequent operations. It was really about making sure that we could take it from raw material coming in to product leaving the door to the customer as quick as possible.
So having reached out to the MTC, the process has been really smooth and easy. The business development guy came out and did a line walk and we really scoped out the projects that we wanted to do. And the initial project being how we improve the efficiencies of our lamination line through operational efficiencies and working methods. A lot of people ask us why we chose the MTC. Well, funnily enough, obviously we had a need. And we went to Coventry to visit the facility and look at the whole setup and what goes on there, and to be honest it was mind-blowing, and we felt that was the partner for us. We wanted people pushing innovation and looking to drive things forward. Working and dealing with MTC has been really simple for us. There's always somebody on the end of the telephone, there's always people who can answer questions, and it's just been a pleasure. The enthusiasm and drive from everyone's fantastic. The line walk was initiated because we could really see a bottleneck in our lamination line. Quite a historic process, facing mechanical challenges as well as operational challenges. So what we really wanted to do was understand the problem and what could be done about it. One of the key things that was identified by the line walk was the benefits of doing a value stream map. where we'd map out all the process, all the things that were going on and potential ideas for improvements. That was invaluable for us. Having done the value stream map, it's all great having a piece of paper, but you've kind of got to bring it to life. So some of the key things we did there was communicating with staff, going through the ideas and potentials and trying to share a vision between us all. So then getting out and doing the project work in the factory with the team and working on projects, which ultimately led to other things for us. With the profits we'd generated, with other projects and funding we looked at, we were able to invest in further lines and just work on those downtimes, those wastes that we were seeing in the value stream map. Having completed the value stream map process and really understanding our efficiencies now flow within the business, we've also been able to relay the factory out to give further flow. So instead of thinking we needed a new building and had to move, we've been able to accommodate everything we want to do in our growth where we currently are. With the improvements in the project, we've seen 400% increase in our output speed on the lamination line. It's quite clear what the benefits are there for us, but we can process work faster, we can handle more work, and we can really help, service this growing market. The projects have led to ultimately quite a lot of investment in the factory out there. From replacing our 3 honeycomb lines into 1 new continuous process, to a much faster lamination line, even all the way into our conversion processes where the slitting blades are self-setting and sharpening and really generating a lot more efficiency. I find the MTC very different to other consultants. They put themselves in place to enable you to go away and continuously work on things. They're not there to try and become a fundamental part of your business and process.
We were able to give Dufaylite some financial support. At the MTC we have some money we call Reach, which enables SMEs to reduce the cost of their engagement with the MTC. During the project we also helped identify other opportunities, so there was some grant funding that we identified made available, but Dufaylite also did some of their own research and found some grants that were available to help reduce the cost. I think one of the other interesting things is actually a lot of the efficiencies gains that we made help fund the future projects. So each project yielded additional profit, which meant we could invest more in new technology and future projects. It's not just about the equipment, it's really important to engage the people. We spent a lot of time with the people, helping them understand what the goal was, but also helping them educate me on how to make the product they make. I didn't know how to make it, they did. So we worked really closely together, very collaborative. We helped upskill and embed a lot of the skills that were needed to allow Ashley and his team to carry on. Dufaylite were fantastic to work with. During the whole process, I was able to get all the information I needed. They worked collaboratively, and also, it takes a bit of buy-in. So when we turn around and pitch an idea, it takes a lot for the MD of a business to turn around and say, yeah, let's do it. And the fact that they put trust in the MTC really made it a successful project.
Working with MTC has far exceeded our expectations. It's delivered far more than we ever expected from this project. A key part of our efficiency drive has been increasing the output on our lamination line. The MTC have helped us with research into the technology available for this line. We've concentrated really hard on the drying technology. They even helped us with prototyping and testing before we even integrated it into our new line. Having completed the projects and really transformed our factory, the variety of applications for us is kind of endless. We have full control now. From buying big reels of paper and glue in, we can make really small tiny things to really big boards, to really big finished units. Our efficiency drive is allowing us to take on additional work and enter new markets. We've recently entered into the thermal efficiency side of food boxes, where we're trying to keep controlled temperatures within food boxes. At Dufaylite, our vision is to free the world of polystyrene. So over the next coming years, our plan is to double the size of the business again, but still partner with the MTC because there's key things for us to look at: automation, AI potentially, and a whole range of new technologies that are entering the manufacturing industry. My advice to anyone who's contemplating working with the MTC would be to just push the button and give it a go. Get involved, try and understand what's going on, and really work hard with the team. They'll push you as much as you can push them.